Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Oh, that's better. There are people here. It's such a pleasure for me to be here, and as Bab said, we do have a lot of history. And I'm going to share this story. I was sharing it with Babs just the other day, how we met. It was very coincidental, or some people believe there aren't any coincidences. But basically, Babs and I were at a poetry event at the Globe Theatre in London. Is anybody familiar with that venue in London? Yeah, a few of you. And I was there to support a friend. I hadn't actually started to perform myself, but I was writing a little bit. So I introduced myself to Babs, and we got talking. And she mentioned that she had just started this event, Palabras, which was in a squat, and I thought that sounds really interesting. And she gave me her card, which was a really unique card made out of woven paper. And I said, well, I'm not performing myself. And she said, you know, keep it, you'll never know. Roll on, a year and a half later, I had started performing myself, and spoke to a mutual friend of ours, David J, who's based in London, who has performed here as well. And he mentioned Babs, and I said, oh, I remember her. And I have her card still in my purse, and I took it out. Then I contacted Babs, and then a few months later she said, I'm going to surprise you. How would you like to come out and perform in Amsterdam? I went, are you serious? So here I am. This is about my 4th or 5th time, so I'm really pleased to be here. So I'll get on with the poetry now. Thank you. It just makes me feel that I'm meant to be here. So I'm going to share, the first poem I'm going to share with you. For many people, at one stage or another, you'll experience some form of bereavement. That's something that's occurred quite frequently in my family fairly recently. And this is a piece that was based on my earliest experience of bereavement, and it's called My Brother's Best Friend. My brother Andrew isn't going to school today. Philip has gone. The night before, my brother and some friends sat on wooden chairs around Philip's bed, a lone island in the middle of the living room, and talked about playing cricket, sniffing or rubbing eyes with sleeves, trying to sound upbeat, one person's laughter missing. I sat on a small beige leather poof near the telly, which was nonsense in the background, and my mum got up rushing out. It was the first time I had seen her cry in front of my brother and me. Philip's bald head was the only light thing in the dimly lit room. His eyelids were heavy, eyes rolling around underneath them. I saw my brother's eyes dart everywhere around the room, stopping finally at Philip's feet, shrunken and small under a purple and blue crocheted bed cover. My brother's best friend looked 11, like me, instead of 17. His muscles folded and tucked away, preparing for a long rest. Thank you. I'm just going to read a short, oops, got lots of things juggling here. I'm going to read a short piece which was published in an anthology called Red, which is contemporary Black British poetry. So I was very fortunate to have a piece published in there. And this is called The Witness. Through the crack of the bedroom door, my father, his voice barking. My mother's sullen lips refuse to kiss him sometimes, and her stubborn mouth resists the pull and drag of worn lipstick. Pieces of congealed wax and fat break up and fall to the floor. My father's slow and heavy now, as he moves towards my mother, treading wine-coloured fragments into the tan carpet, leaving an evident stain. Thank you. Now, for many people who are entering relationships at a later stage in their life, they're more likely to encounter somebody or meet somebody who already has a child, and then they can form, as we call today, blended families. This was based on a piece with somebody I met who had a child, and it's called Breaking the Ice. Oh, this is, by the way, I'm having release my first collection or chapbook of poetry this year. So this is a piece that's going to hopefully be in the collection. It's called Breaking the Ice. There are 2 days of snow still in sheets around London. I don't wait long at the station after work. You pull up, an unknown silhouette in the back of the car, the shape of your head's matching. I quickly sink into your car, my passion contained neatly within, like the first folded up poem you passed to me. We fumble as we shake and hold hands. Your son looks on, smiling. I stretch immediately to the back, shake his 11-year-old hand, calmly offer my name. He's polite. His warmth fills the car, mixes with Miles Davis's From the Car's CD. I ask how long he has supported Arsenal. I can guess who you support without you telling me, he declares confidently. Manchester United. He asserts. Oh, somebody has to. He asserts quickly. How did you know? I ask. Yeah, how did you know? You ask him, closely after. I just know. I know everything. Our collective laughter is harmonised with Miles's horn in the car. He speaks of his love for Arsenal during 8 minutes to my parked car. I am reluctant to leave our newly found warm communion cocoon from the outside December bitterness. I stretch over to the rear seat, shake your son's hand. He smiles broadly, adds, "It was nice to meet you." I turn to you at the front. Inhale, exhale, awkward breath. You and I gaze at each other, shake hands once more. I smile, rush into my car, the seat fabric cool. You come over, your son still seated in your car. Quickly push your lips, surprisingly warm on mine, and offer to scrape my windscreen of its day-old crystal ice. Your son jumps out the car, fixes on his gloves. I'll help! I start the engine, swallow hard, as father with your black scraper, and your son with my bright yellow scraper. Work hard, arms of your matching black coats flecked in white, like arbitrary windscreen wipers, across the glass to break the ice. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more pieces. I think I've got time for that. Now, in the UK, today it's Mother's Day, and I had to, some of my fellow performers tonight saw me in the back room having a FaceTime call with my dad so I could speak to my mum and wish her happy Mother's Day. So I have to do that, otherwise my life won't be worth living. So this is a piece which is based on a conversation I had with my mum, who, she's quite concerned that I'm not married yet. And when I told her I had caught the bouquet from a friend's wedding, she was very happy. So this is based on that. It's called a bouquet. And for those of you who may not understand a little bit of Jamaican patois, I apologise now. It's called a bouquet. The minute she found out I had caught it, she shrieked at a pitch only mothers could reach, whooped, spun on her heels, punched holes through the June air, told absolutely anybody who'd prepared to listen for the 7th time in a row. I suppose deep down I wanted to share her jubilation. I mean, the last wedding I had been to, prior to this one, the bouquet came in my direction, then brushed my hooked fingers as it slipped through my rubbish grasp. Story of my life, I hissed. I am not getting any younger, Shirlene. It has to happen soon, she sang, rubbing her heavy hands together like she was eagerly trying to create a fire with damp sticks. Your brothers, them, they're on to their 2nd and 3rd children. Girl, what you waiting for? No man ain't gonna want you if you're just going out like some teenager, she said, matter-of-factly. All they'll see is a blur. Nobody can catch a blur or lead it down the aisle. This news had made her more nimble and sprightly than she'd been for years. She then picked up her cane, which had fallen to the floor in all the excitement, suddenly remembering why she had possessed it for all this time. But you never want to go to church either. They've got some nice single men there too, you know. Good looking. Look at you, child. You're not ugly. Surely you can't be satisfied just being someone's aunt. She had a knack for getting things more or less correct without thinking about it. Little did she know how hard I'd hoped to capture the attention of one of these church brothers. Instead, I ended up capturing his wife's bouquet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure whether to do that piece, so I'm glad I did. Oh, thank you. So, I've got the last piece that I'm going to do now has some music. And one of the, well, when I did my very first performance here, this is a piece that I did. And it's still the same piece, but you know, a lot of people seem to like it, and it's my mom's favourite piece. And this is based on a trip I made to see a very special person. And it's called Granddad. For as long as I can remember, pictured his smile in mine, where my full eyes come from. The bus will take an hour, then 10 minutes to climb a long gritty hill cooked in Jamaican heat. Sat tight in cramped container, his tires pretend to take strain. Weighed down by shiny young school children, full-bodied women in spangled blouses, elders in straw hats, shielding, squinting eyes. I smile as elbows and bottoms stick in unsuspecting faces trying to find balance. I turn. Framed through cracked window, I see my granddad waiting to cross the street. I know it's him. Definitely is him. Same features as mummy. Same posture as me. No one can tell me different. It's him alright from the one photo I've seen. I just know. My cousin insists I didn't see him. Couldn't possibly know from one single photo. Trust me. I grab a hand. We get off at the next stop. We run as fast as Jamaican heat and humidity will allow legs to pump and chest to heat. We get nearer to the old man in white shirt and chest-high grey slaps and children. Granddad? Granddad? The elder turns. His face matches mine. He looks on bemused and then amused. My crumpled baby photo, drawn from his wallet. His smile broad as he enfolds my teenage frame, holding, squeezing, dispelling years of family tears. enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.